Hi. So today I'd like to talk to you about abdominals and more importantly, flat stomach and six-pack muscles. So a lot of people come to classes with me and they ask me how they manage to get a flat tummy, how they manage to get a six-pack. This is a really difficult question to answer because it varies enormously from person to person. It can be down to a whole number of things, including genetics, body type, what we eat, our posture. If we've had several babies, that can have an impact on our abdominals. So there are lots of reasons why that aspirational flat stomach can be quite difficult to achieve. And for many women, actually achieving a six-pack means that the body fat percentage has to be incredibly low. I've done abdominal exercises of all sorts for over 20 years, and I can honestly say, hand on heart, the only time that I had a six-pack was when I was underweight and very unwell. Aside from that, all the crunches, all the core exercises, my stomach does not want to provide me with a six-pack. So what I'm going to do now is just show you the way that people sometimes do abdominal exercises and end up doing it wrong, for want of a better word. There's lots of energy expended. People go to the gym, they go to classes and do hundreds and hundreds of sit-ups, and they just don't get the results that they want. And there is one thing that might be making a difference or might be causing that to be the case. So what I'm going to go through with you now is just the technique for abdominal crunches. So just bear with me while I shuffle over to the back. I'm just seeing my dogs have congregated behind me, so bear with me. Off. Okay, so what I want you to think about is when we're doing abdominal exercises, what a lot of people do, and I'm going to expose my belly here, is they imprint their abdominals or their lower back into the floor. They have their hands holding onto their head and they pull up. And what we're continuously doing here, if I show you, is pushing the abs into a round position. Yeah, they're going to ache. They're already starting to say, I'm working here. But what I'm doing is developing my abdominals in a round way. So what we need to think about if we're going to work our abdominal muscles with a crunch, and obviously for some people that's something that they want to do, other people might explore other options. But an abdominal crunch, ideally we would work from neutral. Some people prefer to compress the back. The debate is there. You could argue either way. If we're going to support the head, it might be that we place the hands at the sides of the head, thumbs on the jaw or fingers around the temples. If the neck's really sore when you do an abdominal crunch, there's no reason why we can't actually hold the corners of the mat. So what I'm doing here is letting all the tension that might be in my neck muscles go and focusing on a small controlled ab curl. And this is how I teach abdominal crunches in classes, starting off here. And then if that's all okay, I'd start to work from here. So what I'm looking for is a slight nod in the chin. And on the way up, I'm shortening and tightening the abdominal muscles. And on the way down, I'm lengthening. And I will often pop the hand onto the belly just to check that I'm engaging those abdominals and pulling them in tight, rather than doing what I mentioned earlier, and that's pushing them up. So if you are going to do abdominal exercises in a class, or in front of your DVD or your video, just make sure that you're engaging the muscles and pulling them in and engaging them to tighten and flatten rather than pushing them upwards, because otherwise you're using loads and loads of energy, and what you might actually be doing is creating a very rounded belly. And I've yet to meet a lady, without sounding sexist, that wants a rounded belly, apart from perhaps a pregnant lady. So please do leave me comments about this. We are going to do a whole 10-minute video on abdominal exercise with some variations from beginner through to some quite advanced exercises. But for now, I'll leave you with that basic food for thought, and I'd appreciate your comments. Thank you for watching.